Previously on The Corporate Girly JA.
Confidant, Mrs. Karretta Dunn-Ewart. Out of that energy play, you will be convinced I have digital play. I don't have it. And I think that's the point when I actually confess to somebody and said, no, I digital play. Like, I think it was on TV at the time. And I must say, let's spin again to networking and mentorship. How has networking played a role in your career? And what tips do you have for successful people? Because you know everybody. She knows everybody. Like, everybody. Literally. The man who sell bag juice, sugar cane, she knows everything. She's a queen of networking. Right now, I should have had a crown that says networking queen. Yeah, she knows everybody. And networking is, you know what is so weird? Networking has gotten me all my jobs. And I don't mean got me my job mean getting me in the door. I mean getting me my job in terms of even when the don't hear something I say, well, I'm gonna take the cut off the work here, I'm gonna apply for it. Me I go call somebody and say, here this, I see that job here. This is the requirement. What you think? Oh no man, Karretta, you have this, you have that, you have this. Networking as well in the sense of my job in the farmers I never apply for it. I've gotten job offers to places I never applied for. Miss, that's networking. That's me going somewhere, the brand, doing the work despite the culture. Take notes, people. And knowing that I am doing it because the only thing my mother ever leave behind for me is just some of my parents leave car and house and money. Oh no. Uncle hard work. Do have that luxury. I have to work for the only thing I know to do I work hard. Look only thing we know to do I work hard. Work very hard. So what happens is that people will see that and let me tell you, before you get the work, you know, people that will call around and ask about you. Check it from me, them box. Yeah. And for me, it's always up. If people always say the same thing. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I see it. Some people always say the same thing. I remember when I left Digital and I went to Fidget Soul. The first interaction I had, the person said to me, why you left Digital? Because I heard so much good things about you. I was like, what kind of investigation you had for me, miss? But that is also networking. That's also somebody reaching out internally. You get a work, or did you say you work or flow? Somebody over, did you say no, somebody overflow, them over call them though. So for me, networking has done a lot for me. It is so important. It is important from childhood because my money didn't know nothing between them. I'm going to tell you something. When you go a road, everybody know you. I'm not carrying that or that. Yeah. That's networking, you know. That's people looking out for you even when you're not expecting. You never ask. I think growing up, I thought that no man did those spots. She tell me, granny. Yeah. That's because your grandma had networked with them people. So for me, networking in the corporate space plays a very vital role. Promotions, interviews. When I left you down in business and went up to corporate, that was networking. Somebody came to my desk, sent me a link and said, apply for this job. And before I did the interview, the person said, you're going to get the job. That's networking. Yeah. So yes, I have the certs. Yes, I have the work ethics. Yes, I have the experience. But also, me also know somebody when know me when know say we can work. Because sometimes a lot of us have PhD, MSD, real, we can't get work. Oh yes. What you think? What you think you can get the work? You know somebody, we know somebody, we know somebody. But we still know in the corporate space, you have to have your documents to back that network system, yeah? But at the end of the day, a lot of the things that happen and a lot of the times when our names are called is because of networking. Oh yes. I was on a call today and my head grew big so when the ear one of my customers said, oh, you know, I've worked with Kedisha since she was at Digicel. I would have gone to another company. He was right there. And now I'm at this company. And I've never met her in person. I was even shocked. I said, well, I've never met him for 2 years. But he was able to recommend me. So customers. And I was like, wow. Brand? So the brand that, oh,
the reason why I'm doing business with you guys is because of her, and I know her capability.
There you go.
Right. Wow, that brand and
the
networking, it's
Especially in
really,
our space that we work.
yeah. And what I learned too is that our space, marketing, sales, technology, ICT, cybersecurity, it's very small, and words spread like person rotate. So Karretta was at Digicel, then she went to Fujitsu. Now she's at, yeah,
I know the name.
the name,
Yeah.
yeah, the brand,
Yeah.
networking. Oh yes, I know her. She was at so and so. She was a top performer at so and so. Yeah, man, she was very good at her job.
Yeah.
So that's important as well.
It is.
But I'm gonna wind down a little bit now. Because if we continue, we'll be here for the
We need
whole
a part
night.
4 and 5.
Yeah. Work-life balance. What's that?
And I learned work-life balance the hard way. I have learned to know that my personal device must be different from my work device.
Oh, no, that.
And that speaks to laptop, phone, anything where company give you, any gadget. When you don't work now, we only hear people say, "Oh, the company phone, I love."
5 o'clock, my company phone is on airplane mode.
So what happens there is most of us learned that in COVID.
Oh yes.
When the pressure. So what would happen is I'd go and I'd sit down around my computer from 6, and sometime when 9 o'clock me I realize that I'm still there. And when that happens, mostly you get bombarded. So you get edgy, your mood changes, your attitude change, your demeanor change. And then because me love my family, we never know and realize the impact until the body starts feel. When you start sick now, when your back start at you and your hands start at you, and then you realize the little things that matter. And then what happened as well is that you are spending more of your life and your time and your energy with work, and your family gets neglected. So
It's not good.
you find the pitney and say, "Who me come play with me now? Me work. Who me come eat with me now? This soon come me work. Me come meet me. I send off an email. No man, have balance man. Even in that Bible they tell about balance man, eh?
Rest.
Huh?
You should
Why
rest.
Jesus will be
Jesus
working
rest.
rest. So when you realize that when you work 9 to 9, 9 to 12 midnight, and I same salary when the month done, and you might get a recognition, and you want to award. But what does that do for you as a human being? What does that do for you?
What have you achieved?
What have but you burn out your family, and I'm not used to your family, and I'm not used to yourself. And as such, you either spend your time working or at the doctor.
Oh yes.
No,
so you're working all that money to give
back to the doctor. Yes, or a
specialist. Or whenever a specialist are different.
Yes, love. And when you do that too, you realize that what you're doing is what your parents and foreparents would have done back then. Just a walk. Just a work. Nothing, no fun. Right? So whether it's going to be you going to church, you spending time with your family, just I learned this from my friend, my childhood friend, Kimberly, who does the Kimberly. A few years ago when I was in Massachusetts doing 2 jobs.
Oh yes.
I talk about that. I had a manager that would be a micromanager. Yeah? And I was just stressed and tense all the time, and my son would look at me and look so sad. Why do you always look so upset? And I started feeling guilty. Yeah, man, you tell me that sometime when work get to me and it's on my face like, you come and say something, and like it turn back.
Yeah, because you feel.
So why she look so stressed out? And my friend took my laptop and said, go in the room. And she took Jazane.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
She took Jazane and she said, you're going to lock up in that room for 10 minutes. No phones, no devices, and you're going to do some me time. Look here. You feel like 10 days. As long as 10 days out of my life.
It's hard, but it's worth it, and it's very good.
And she said to me, you're going to improve on that time. So 10 today, 15 tomorrow, 20. I don't care. You lay down in there, sit there, watch your time. And then it started to feel so good. The me time, the alone time, the time to think. And this when you come out of the 10 minutes there, girl, you feel like you're say, yo, me have to build one new world. You realize the importance of balance. Because outside of family and working, you have you as a human, as an individual. Because you know my saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Nope. Listen, if you cup, you can't give to neither the work nor the family.
Yeah.
So that's what I use to remind myself that balance is important.
It no sense.
Yes, my love.
So on the topic of work-life balance, what's a fun hobby or passion of yours that people might be surprised to learn about?
Sleeping. You know this. I don't know nobody when I know that. The sleep you're living, you can't sleep in Jamaica.
Oh, never sleep, no.
No, look here. Look here. 2 nights ago, me down at bed 7 o'clock. I went to sleep and wake up after 11. You know, no, me, we sleep in Jamaica. Me and my husband will sleep for Jamaica. We no man, we will sleep, man. Like, we sleep. We sleep. Oh, wow. That's the fun thing. We love sleep. They love sleep.
Mine is Monday too. It's like Netflix and chill.
That's all me know. Sleeping is mine because TV will watch me.
Yeah, it's just Netflix.
And if you
especially today on a Friday.
No man, we sleep. I got me, yeah, like we sleep. When work over, and on Friday when my son chill with him in social group, me go my bed. I'll 7 o'clock on a Friday because I sleep.
I used to be like that, and then I don't know. It changed. Where I'm fighting to go.
I want to invite you know I'm out the road.
And that's the funny part. They say if you invite me out there,
my social life to start run out.
Everything just like body come down.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So what's your favorite or your go-to snack or drink to keep you going?
Pepsi.
Coffee.
Caffeine.
All right, guys. So let me paint the picture to you about this coffee addiction. And I didn't know that coffee was actually deemed as an addiction until my experience with her. So I think for a week or a couple of days, she didn't have coffee. And she was operating like this. Out of control. Kenisha, I need coffee. I need to get...
You can't even think.
Wait, you're sounding like a man we're addicted to crack or meth or, you know, one of those persons that have real serious addiction. Like, tell us about that.
You'd be proud to know I gave that up for Lenny.
Oh, good. 5 days is not enough.
No, never did, but with God, with Christ in the vessel.
I like that.
It's my thing that, especially, I'm not looking at. Which one I come looking at? I see, especially when you're buying a little Pepsi there.
It tastes good for sure. Like, especially when they have a nice.
They get upset when we get a flat Pepsi.
That should be banned. Banned. Flat Pepsi?
I feel the same about my coffee. In the morning, I have no conversation with me till I wake up. To the point that when I went to the Bahamas, one of my sales girls that I manage quickly realized how much I love coffee. She bought me a mug that says, "I am a nice person after I have my coffee."
That's what the mug said. The accuracy. Thank you. Did you bring that cup over? Oh.
It broke.
We're probably trying to get that for your Christmas.
Coffee, Pepsi,
normally, you know,
I love coffee.
I'll have coffee, but I'm a tea person. I grew up with coffee, as in coffee with the bag where you pour the hot water, the grinded beans and the hot water in it, and you sweeten it with the white Lasco. Lasco had the pink and white bag.
Yeah, it's about Lasco.
The sugar or condensed milk. That's the coffee I grew, and little salt in it. I know that there's a stigma, we don't put salt in coffee, whatever. That's how I had it. And it was to this day, if I'm making coffee, that's how I make it.
I have it anyway. I have it cold, hot.
And I prefer black.
Well, I can't have it black. I've tried it.
Oh no, black coffee tastes like poison.
I've tried it. I don't like it.
And I think in the Latin American culture.
Yeah, remember our boss?
Black
We only
coffee,
drink
that's
black coffee.
yeah, that's how they
Yeah. I
they
mean, I
like
love the
their
smell of
coffee.
it, but
No, one little cream, a little
Of color.
agave, a little yeah, coffee have white.
Yeah, look a bit of color.
Little sweetness.
A little flavor. So,
The topic of controversy. I'm going back there. Do you think women support women?
no.
I didn't even finish the question.
No matter where you myself question ask. Woman support woman. Where was I ask yourself a question?
In the corporate space.
I don't know if it exists, but I don't really get it. Most of my support came from male leaders. I mean, I might have had a one and two time. I mean, support will come from my friends.
I've had
But
good female managers, but it's to an extent.
I had one good female manager.
Is that the same female manager? Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
I find that that's why I answered the question before you finish asking, because I don't know if I'm going to sound like I am an anti-woman, but I think woman to woman, we don't do what men do. Man to man, they have them back.
Oh yes.
Man to man, they support each other. Man to man, they hold your hand. Woman to woman.
And they're men.
Women to women, I'm not seeing the same. I mean, you can look at that in so many perspectives. Corporate, friendship, relationship, native, wife, husband, wife.
They're bitter,
like
jealous,
we
nature's creatures.
I don't see it. It happens, like I said, because I have you guys as friends and you guys support the friends that will support me. In a corporate space, most of my support didn't come from woman.
Yeah.
Most of my tear don't come from woman.
Oh yes.
Most of my I had a manager, a supervisor while we were at Digital. And I was naturally working hard because that's what I'm enough to do. And you used to have people there that think I even used to give me bills them for clothes.
Oh yes, you remember that rumor.
Yeah. You used to have people, even my general manager at the time, we had a good relationship. We still have a good relationship.
Yeah.
People think oh, me get what me getting out of work because it rate me.
I remember one manager saying to me, "You're lucky. You're one of the lucky ones who did not have to sleep with anybody."
Yeah, me get that too.
To matriculate of the court.
Me get that too.
And a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of females think that I would have or I did.
Just what I say. A man never work twice as hard as you. And them have a big him up and then breaking them a character a drink and say, yo dog, red. Buy a car, yo dog, red. The woman them know when you buy a car, them say, oh, she get that from?
Oh, she get
which man she get that
which
from? Oh, she do forget that. Like, for me personally, I find that a lot of the bitterness and the drawdown and the carry down and the breakdown and the carry break will come back. Comes from women. I've had a lot of my support with males as my leaders. I've had a lot of support with men. Look at my general manager at the time when he met my husband for the first time. He looked at him and said, "This woman, I am going to make her replace this because of how hard she worked." And he kept his promise.
Yeah, and I like persons who or managers who do live.
And when they identify a strength, even when you don't see it, and boy, no matter where you are, me turn back how much million times and say, yo, we can't do this. Then I will say, look here, no, you can't do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I wanted to leave a little career bite. What is one career advice you have received that you actually put into practice? And as a follow-up to that, what is one life or career advice that you would give to somebody looking to start out in the corporate space?
Career advice. You know what? That's a hard one. You know why? Why? Me so 100. I'm still not trying to figure out my career.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
found it.
I think, let me tell you what happens. I think we get to a comfort place where work is concerned in terms of what passion and what we do and where our strengths lie. People tell me all the time, oh, you're a great salesperson. But you and I know, Kenisha, we don't really like people, you know? But guess what? In terms of my career and what I'm doing, I love when I present somebody with a solution. whether it's a product or a service, and it work for them, and they can it have a play part. Me say, when me sell you the pen here, and the way me selling you this pen, even before you use the pen, they start tell somebody else about the pen.
You know why? Because you're an empath and your love language is act of service. So you feel good. I think I have that too. How sales fulfill me is the fact that when I sell something to somebody and they say, "Oh my Kadisha, yeah man," that makes me feel good. Yeah, it's not even about the money that comes with it, but the fact you see if them not tell me something work or it's like I'm gonna call him and say, is everything going okay? Yeah. Do you need anything else? Let me know if you need anything else. So I think it's that.
But in terms of career, find your passion. Because sometimes, and you know what's so funny about that question? I learned recently, even if I'm male, but never when I work, you say both was saying how much you wanted to play cricket when you was younger.
Are you alone in the
I'm alone if I don't. That's so much when I watch TV. Yeah. And his dad saw his passion for running. And you see what you saying about this today. So sometimes your passion and you not up on the same line. Me not like sell. Me still not think me can sell. But I can. But I can convince you to do things.
Very persuasive.
So my passion, which is the persuasion and the talking to people and the rain, in the space, not the moment, has made me a very good salesperson. I hate that term, the salesperson, but that's what it is. Yeah. Because, like I said, half of my years of selling digitally, I never have digitally, but I never tell you everything and every reason why you have of it. And when you have the experience where you are getting, we never have it yet tonight. But I think once you have a passion for something, feed into that passion. That passion might be what your career is, what your money is, what your whole life and your goal is. Remember, I tell us when they're at high school, they say they're going to teach, teach me ever teach. They're not teach, no. But this was always every report card when we get from basic school comes straight up to just say, this girl loves to talk. And look what I pay me now for talk.
I know it's so funny you bring up that when you started your podcast, and I used to listen. I was like, I envision you being a public speaker. And I think this is the first I've ever said it.
I have over 10 screenshots in my phone where people say, when I listen to your voice, I can see this program on the TV. Mm-hmm. And you know what is true? Me hate hear myself talk. Really? So when I used to have to edit those podcasts, I said, I'm cringe. Like, oh my God, my voice. But then, which comes back to us.
Hi guys, I wanted to pause for a moment to highlight my friend's podcast, The Uncomfortable Truth. This podcast is about unscripted truth and taking a look at untold stories. Go check out her podcast on Spotify. Season 2 is coming soon. Let's return to our conversation.
I used to tell my man, if the teacher watch this, then remember every report. Jesus, this girl can talk.
I was the opposite. Total introvert. And I guess this one.
But I'm an introverted extrovert. Which is why my social battery run out so fast.
Yeah.
We talk to you now, but when we left and over me yard, I hit that free weekend, all talked out.
Yeah. She's like, Kenisha, I'm not hear from you. You're such a selfish type. You are such a selfish person.
You do that to people.
I'm like, we don't want to bother you.
Check in.
So like sometimes even when I type, if she sends me a message and I type a one word, she's like, "Why
you
one
word?"
Like, what's happening?
So like the type of when you say, "Okay, what?" When you have like a teenage daughter, right? Like it don't make sense.
I understand and I respect people's space. If her husband is at home, really did it.
She's one of them people that when you're with them and you guys depart and you're expecting to hear the messages coming. I'm home, fair, I'm home.
Oh, yeah.
Should I reach home?
That.
Should I reach home? Everybody else reach home, I should I reach. That's bad. That's bad.
Communications.
Man, gotta fix it.
Alright, I'm wrapping up, guys, but finally we're gonna play a little game.
We are?
Yes.
It's a
simple game.
Oh.
Hired or fired? Remember, in the corporate space, simple scenarios, and you're going to tell me if you would hire or fire them and state the reason why. So here's the first scenario.
Don't judge me.
All right. You won't be judged. Your employee has been sending personal emails from their work email address, but they have never missed a deadline and consistently exceed expectations. Do you hire or fire?
Hire. Hire and train.
Oh, what would you do?
Hire and train.
In a meeting.
Hire and train. Personal emails. Sometimes people take things for granted. The space that I work in now, with the cyber attacks that are happening, it's just for you to train the employees for them to understand what can happen when you sending a personal email
From your work
email address. That's a very good scenario.
Open
Ow,
for
ow.
phishing.
Listen,
Phishing.
that's how they be targeting and attacking your companies, man.
Yeah. An
So
employee has suggested a creative idea for a project, but it's completely untested and other employees are skeptical. Do you hire or fire them for being too risky?
Hire. Hire. That could be the actual idea that takes your company from $100 to $1 million fortune company. Look at Netflix.
Oh, yes.
It's 2025 we're in. The simplest of things are out there making people money. The simplest ideas. You got to start taking those creative juices from employees. And guess what? That employee can be the test. You can't just let them know, listen, you test it. And let's see what the result is. You can't put it as a test, man.
There you go. Good manager. Your employee sends a casual, sorry, not coming in today, text on a Monday morning. But this has happened 3 times in the last month. Hire or fire?
Pip.
I was going to say, I would call him. I don't know what's happening.
Not something real of your board. They either have some personal issues that
Yeah,
they
man. That's some person.
or they might look my next work. Because sometimes people tap out mentally out of the workplace. Maybe there's a history of something. You see, that's the thing that you have to assess the situation because if that never used to happen all along and then you see that happen consistently, it can be a personal situation or it can be that them tap out. And you determining if them tap out mean you have to kind of look on the past and things leading up to say, Kenisha kind of seemed like she owes a bit from one day, like she has snapped her teeth in here. One day, reach out for you know, to go business, Kenisha, I say for the past 3 Mondays, you've been calling out. I'm not sure what's happening, So take some vacation days, take some department. No, but you have to be.
You're a good manager, hiring manager.
It's value to the business too. Because if me have somebody where you know, say me always in line, always, and then this just start happening. Something alright, man. Something alright. Something alright. You can't just let me know.
You have
Some
cancer.
people out the road that swap our problems to them.
That's so true.
I tell people that all the time.
Final question, and then we close. Your employee consistently criticizes management decisions in front of the team. They're always respectful but never hesitate to voice their opinions. Do you hire or fire?
You're tough, because you're one.
Tell me.
Sometimes people will always have nothing good to say. Don't know better. Them so bitter. It's almost the same. Yeah, it's almost the same thing. Like you're up on a path, or you have a goal in your head and you try to talk to somebody about it, and no matter what you tell them, no sir, that never work. No sir. We've had an employee, we've had a worker like that. You know what happened? She worked her way through the door.
Oh yes, we saw that.
So you will see that when they realize that everybody not on the same line with them depend, they're not gonna work themselves through the door.
Yeah.
But you have the opportunity to do a few things before to assess. To see if this is somebody that has a problem you're constant or if a manager they really not like. Because I don't have to like you, as my manager, but I will always respect the title.
Yeah.
you have suggestions, you have criticisms, good and bad. But it's how you say, what you say, and when you say it, and when and where.
Who is the audience?
And the audience. So you have to assess the situation. Because when it comes to respect, now play that joke there now. You see, disrespect something. And if you say when you laugh, you're not gonna play it. If me and you
going,
if me and you laugh,
sorry.
bust out that grammar, you disrespect me, my smile dry up.
I'm sorry.
My brain stop work. So for that scenario, it's to assess it to see. Because even though you said it's not disrespectful, it might not be disrespectful in my ears, but in people listening. So like I said, the audience, how often, the things, because you can't always criticize situation, but you have a solution.
Yeah.
You ever tell me say this not gonna work, what's your solution?
Yeah, we always hear that from afar.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this think this will work. But okay, so what do you think will work? What are your suggestions?
Yeah.
How else do you see this working? Because it's a relationship, in a situation, the company situation, the company interest is so the one there.
Undefined.
Yeah,
Undetermined.
Undetermined. Only political things.
Scenarios.
Yeah.
Thorough assessments.
Yeah. But it's not case of get up and say, no,
we're gonna fire.
Scenario.
Yeah.
You assess the situation. Because sometimes people bit up no. What's the KPIs in this? Assess the situation. Assess the situation. You have to assess it.
What's next?
What's next for me? What's next for me is that
you've done so much. You've achieved. But let me not speak for you. What's next?
What's funny is that I collected a cert yesterday and on a cert yesterday and I showed it to my husband.
Tell them the term that we use to define us. Because when I I have a friend right there.
We're professional students. We're professional students.
She gets on top of my nerves with this. Okay, so we are the. I love it though, I love it, but
we're professional students. My husband, I showed him the cert, and that's exactly what he said. What's next? Because it's not the laptop. And I said, oh, what's next today? I have an exam on May 30th.
Here?
Yeah. But what's next for me is, it's just growth. Something I said to you, and I said to a few people, and I'm going to say it openly, is that most of me trying to do and grow professionally now is because I blank out in my earlier years. I blank out in high school. It's like they're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Me I play catch up, and because I know that my son is in high school, and maybe by the time he get to university, I never can go to school. So me I do all of what I can do, and I still think in my mind there is a clear distinction between a profession and a career.
Yes.
I want for myself to be able to have a profession, a career, a few accolades, a few goals, a few experiences in a few different areas. I want for when my son to get older, I don't slum. Oh yes, when I carry a lot of money, come from buy a lot of sugar. When I get 2 cups of coffee, I want him to be able to give me some money and I can put it on an account and give it back to him. I want to set myself in a way where career-wise, goal-oriented wise, at least figure out what I want to. For me, and about having millions in my bank, about going somewhere and somebody says, oh, you don't know Karretta? She's this, that, whatever. And I can humbly say, thank you. Because
you made an impact.
Yeah, no, that the word. Which is why some of the things that I do when I do for people,
you do it
for not thank you. Or when we do it, you grab it from me. I do it from a genuine place.
And that is when your blessings multiply.
You know what me want? For when God forbids and my eyes close, you know this story. The things that I have done for people, my son will reap the rewards. People will see me on the road. And you now make him buck into them and say, come here, little boy, your mother used to this. Come here, man. Your mother would have never
Yeah.
I want people to be able, I want them to be able to read from those blessings and benefits of people looking out to say, your mother used to help my son. I remember when your mother did this for me. Come here. But I want them see what I would kick stone. I said, watch him, bad boy. No, I want them see my no say. And in this, the mother would have never.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as such, when I do what I do, anything that I do, which is why I think I may struggle with being an empath. Me, I wonder if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, but I genuinely feel good when I help people.
Yeah.
I mean, I help them, I never know somebody help them.
Alright, I love to know.
Yeah, me I help them, I mean, I'm coming with my phone from YouTube. Now I do it.
Oh no, I'm not about that.
People do it hands off to them, but me I go help. I'm never helping in some ways when me not even realize the way I does always I help. Like me just get something I'm going and me go show up and me go give me all and people are just and then because of that now, everything I'm going people call by come on, call Karretta. For them know so me go come and me go give me all.
Yeah.
You know? If me now give me all, me never go.
Sorry, friends.
So
Great first guest. And I wouldn't, yes. And I wouldn't have had it any other way.
I'm not shy. So if anything would have said watch nobody, you know, put me on it.
No, she would have called me and said, Kenisha, so.
I said, girl, put them after me.
So when first message this, what's going on here? But thank you so much. I'm sure that the mass you've poured into me, you've poured into them so many life lessons. Just being vulnerable and showing the corporate girlies or even the gents, because I think my platform, the way I see it going, is not just for women, but for everybody.
Girl, I'm
learn
going
and
to watch
grow.
it.
Oh yes. That is good. So I want it to be a safe space for people to get vulnerable, to share ideas, to bring up the other generation. Because as an empath, like you rightfully say, your path of fulfillment is being able to help others. And I think that what we do here, it's not a secret. You know, people will be secretive about how much the job pay.
Yeah.
So me and you do the same job, you get more money than me. And it's not commission day, we're talking about the base pay.
Yes.
So I like the idea of sharing tips and tricks. There's no reason to be selfish. Help each other and build each other and help each other up. The glass ceiling is there to shut up for all of us.
I'm going to end on a note when I tell Kenisha and I just meet her. If you and I are working in the same space and we both performing good, they ain't paying you with my salary, honey. They gotta pay both of us. So let both of us do good and working a KPI with them and say, yo, performance. And the two away a friend or the two away a woman. And the two away of the secret. And I pull each other and the two away us a shine. Girl, when I might pay them, I use you. Why you know what? Help. I'm your sister.
Yep.
I'm your sister. The bros, they got it. They figured it out. We have not yet unlocked it. Let's unlock it.
Yeah.
Let's unlock it.
And on that note, bye guys.
Bye.